Welcome to Dallas, everybody. I'm Steve Feldman, your program committee chair. I'm an employee of CNET Networks who deserves thanks for giving me the funding to be here and the time to actually work on all this. Also, as I said, welcome to Dallas, Texas, or howdy y'all, maybe that's what I should be saying. You can tell that we're in Texas, by the way, because everything is bigger here, as they say. It turns out to be true. I noticed that when I was flying in on Saturday, it took a really long time to get on the rental car shuttle from the terminal to the rental area. It's like 10 miles or something. You could also tell because my compact car was like this. Yes, there was a third row in the back. I'd like to give a big thanks to our host, Yahoo, in particular Brokaw Price, Brian Lacroix, Mike Gallagher, Todd Parker, Raj Patel, Brad Parker. Brokaw will be up here in a moment giving you his welcome as well. Yahoo has done a wonderful job for us and has some exciting entertainment planned for us this evening, which he'll tell you more about. I'd like to thank my fellow program committee members, too many to mention all at once, but they have all worked hard on bringing you the program that's here, so they deserve some thanks. Thank you. There are a couple changes to the posted agenda, which I'm going to give to Susan so she can put on the website. One of them is a talk we've added tomorrow by Randy. And we've done some rearranging Wednesday morning because we've added a panel discussion on the Hurricane Katrina and similar disaster recovery, which is going to follow the talk we've already had scheduled about Katrina recovery. So because of that, we've reshuffled a few things around. A couple of reminders, the usual ones. Network security. We have a nice open wireless system for everyone to use here, but that also means that because it's nice and open, you can see each other's traffic. So don't use clear text passwords unless you want everyone else to know them. Do use end-to-end encryption, something like SSH or VPN tunnels or whatever. Speaking of security, there's a BGP key signing session this time as usual. See the link off the main page, main NetOG page for details on that. There's Yahoo's reception tonight, and our beer and gear reception will be tomorrow night. Some people might be wondering what all the different things on the badges mean. Blue badges are steering committee members, a yellow badge is a program committee member, and a green badge, since green is blue and yellow, looks like this. It's for people who have to sit on both committees. There's also dots that go on badges, green for peering coordinators, black for network security coordinators, and red for PGP key signers. This time we're doing something new, which has been asked for a while, but we, yes? Ah, very good. Thank you, Randy. Since his mic wasn't on, red badges will be for mailing list admin panel members. Okay, lightning talks. A lightning talk is a 10-minute or less presentation. That's exciting. Whatever. A lightning talk is a 10-minute or less presentation on a topic that's of relevance to NetOG. Basically, if it's on topic for the mailing list, it's on topic for this. Anybody who's attending this meeting can submit a lightning talk proposal. Sign-ups will start actually in about 10 minutes when I get to my laptop and set it up. There will be, you can see the URL there. There's also a link to it off of the NetOG main page under Lightning Talks. It's a web form you fill out with your name, email address, a title, and a short abstract. Lightning Talks do not have to include slides, by the way. If you need slides, that's fine, but they're certainly not required. They are 10-minute slots. We will cut you off mid-word if you go beyond that. We will accept submissions until 2 o'clock this afternoon. If we have more than the 6, we'll choose randomly. If we have less than the 6, we'll keep the submissions open until the slots are full. I understand other conferences use lightning talks as a great way to float new ideas, to get people talking to each other. So hopefully that'll happen here. That's it for me. So now I'd like to introduce Brokaw Price from Yahoo.
Let's see if we can get this out of the way. Just pass that over to if you don't mind. Welcome. Yahoo! I'll try to get everybody to do the yodel here later tonight after some beers. Well, on behalf of Dallas, the great state of Texas, and Yahoo, I'm honored to welcome you to NANOG 36. As a host, I've tried to think through all the details that goes into hosting one of these things. The hotel? That gets interesting. There aren't many hotels in Dallas that can accommodate a group of this size. You need 2 large ballrooms. Most hotels only have 1. You've got the general session room that we're in now, and you have the beer and gear room that you need for tomorrow night. So it really limits your options. So we were down to this and another hotel, the Hyatt, and it was booked, particularly after the Hurricane Katrina came through and wiped out a lot of the conference space. So I hope the hotel has worked for everybody. So far, I've been real pleased with their attention to detail and the way all the details have been addressed. So hats off to the Fairmont Hotel. We've tried to look at the distance also to various restaurants when we were choosing hotels, and I hope everybody's found the hotels or the restaurants down in the West End. There's also a trolley that will take you to various restaurants that are over on McKinney Avenue. I encourage everybody to kind of tour Dallas, our restaurants, and some of the museums that are nearby as well. There's the Nasher, the Dallas Museum of Art, and just a lot to do in this area. It is a little bit dead in the downtown area in Dallas after hours, as you probably know from Sunday or Saturday night, but I think that's on the fix. We've got some big high-rise apartments coming into downtown Dallas, and it looks like the Ritz and the W are being built in downtown Dallas as well. So our city is changing. One of the things that you need when you host a NANOG is a big fat internet connection. And that is always something that I think hosts in years gone by have found a bit of a challenge. When we started talking to the folks here at the Fairmont, obviously ballroom size is important, but also that internet connection is important as well. And they were pretty pleased that they had 4 T1s. They actually had 2, and another pair was going to be delivered a little bit later. Actually, they were installing the second pair of T1s when we were pulling the fiber for this event. So we kind of said, well, I just don't think that that's going to quite do it. And we got that resolved, but I'll get into that a little bit later. The terminal room is something that we had to deliver on as well as hosts. I think everybody has seen the virtual terminal room that we have over here by the registration area. You're welcome to use our laptops over there to print boarding passes and do whatever you need to do should your laptops go down. If anybody needs laptops or access to laptops overnight or after hours, just let me know and we'll make arrangements for you. We've got some cables that lock them down, but the security folks here at the Fairmont said it's probably not a real good idea to leave them out 24/7. So just let me know if you need some other accommodations on the laptop front. We'll take care of you. So we also had to deliver T-shirt graphics. I think everybody has seen the graphics that have been spread around. That's been a real experience for me, and I feel like I've been submerged in the garment business, working through T-shirt graphics with our brand department within Yahoo. They are very careful about the color of purple, and yellow is not good. You can use purple or black, and it's been really a lot of fun. It's been and I think it's come out real well. So I hope everybody's happy with the Geek in Boots graphic that we put together for the T-shirts. The website, we had to make it sufficiently simple for this group. I hope everybody's enjoyed that. It had to be sufficiently geeky, so thank you, Mike Gallagher, for putting that together for us. The other thing we had to do is put together a party, and that's going to be a big one, Texas style, so I hope everybody is going to attend that party tonight. That's down at Eddie Dean's, and it's probably one of the better Texas barbecues you'll have. So throughout this whole process of putting together the show, if you will, I've had this nagging feeling that something was missing, that I was forgetting something. Well, it turns out it was. We went to a little company gathering on Sunday night, and a colleague of mine had mentioned that I was on the agenda. And I thought it was kind of a mean joke or something, but no, I was on the agenda all right, and here I am. So I guess the joke was on me. I did let something slide, and if it's me forgetting that I'm doing the opening statement, then I'll take the bullet, so to speak. So on with the show. Betty asked me to say a few words about my experience in hosting NANOG. And all I can say is it's really a commitment. There's a lot of work that goes into this. The folks in my office have affectionately called me the wedding planner. And actually, hosting one of these things makes putting on a wedding look a little bit like a cakewalk, because weddings don't have, big internet circuits that you have to bring in for this group. And I think the worst thing in the world would be to have a connection to the net that didn't perform flawlessly. It's almost like you'd have to, let's just say, for example, you were, I don't know, a cardiologist, and you botched, some sort of operation with all the cardiologists, the premier cardiologists in the world looking on. So we didn't want to botch that. So I hope is everybody on the net now, by the way? Everything's working? Okay, great. So we can tick that one off our list. So I've been to quite a few NANOGs over the last few years. You guys have probably seen me drinking coffee and eating cookies out in the hallway and schlepping for peering. But I've never really had an appreciation for what goes on behind the scenes in one of these things until I took on hosting this NANOG. Well, there's a lot that goes on. And I guess I'll just take this opportunity to express my personal gratitude to Merritt and the community that makes NANOG what it is. You guys are animals. I mean, we've had conference calls every 2 weeks leading up to NANOG 36. I know that the folks in Merritt do everything they can to get everything ready, from negotiating with the hotel and the AV folks, packing and shipping the gear. It's kind of like your roadies, right? And you've done a great job of putting these things on in the past, and it looks like we're ironing out a lot of the kinks going forward. And I hope this NANOG is evidence of that. Reminds me of that Jackson Browne song, Stay. Anyway, I won't sing. That's not good. The Loadout, right? If you look around the corner, there's a room that looks like any knock of size. There's probably a couple miles of cable laying on the ground. Again, there's a lot that goes into putting these things on. It ain't magic that makes these things go off without a hitch. So thank you, Merritt. Thank you, Larry, Betty, Chris, Dave, Susan, Lori, Jason, Carol, Dwayne, Steve, Tony, Joel, Lucy, Tom, Greg, the program committee, the steering committee. It's all been worth it. What is that noise?
Cover the mic for a second.
These are exciting times. I think everybody will agree with me there. There are challenges and opportunities ahead of us. We're building something. It may not always work, but it is not what it used to be, and that is for sure. We are pushing more traffic on the Yahoo side than we ever have before. We're buying bigger and bigger pipes. We're building bigger and bigger data centers, buying more gear. We're turning up OC 192s with some regularity now. We're lighting Seattle and Vienna. We're evolving, and I'm sure everybody in the room shares that with me. I think part of our evolution can be evidenced in this NANOG. we as a community, and I'll just speak for myself, value what this community does and how it helps shape the internet. This community, I think, values our participation on the Yahoo side, and we are part of this community, and it is becoming and has become part of us. We all need to keep it alive to help nurture and help it grow. And so I would encourage anybody in the audience to consider hosting a NANOG. It's a great experience. We've had a lot of discussions internally about the prospect of hosting a NANOG, and it's an interesting process. And it kind of goes like this. Well, what's NANOG? And why would we do this? What's the ROI? And so we've broken it down to how many megabits per second we need to bring up in terms of new peering. And Dan Golding was kind of joking around. So we're going to have this thermometer that shows where we are in bringing up new peering sessions. And once we hit the top of the thermometer, then we've broken even. So, and then we'll kind of do like KERA does with public radio and take over the microphone and stop the whole thing while we do a pledge drive for peering or something. I'm joking, but we go through that, and I've talked to some other people in the audience that are considering hosting NANOG, and it sounds like they've gone through the same process as well. But I don't think it's about ROI. It's about supporting the community. It's about kind of taking responsibility and saying, okay, it's our turn. There's some other folks that have stepped up and hosted in the past, and it's Yahoo's turn to do the same thing. So again, I encourage you to consider taking responsibility and hosting NANOGs going forward. Avoid Valentine's Day. Yeah. And nor'easters. I think we're going to have a smaller crowd this round because I just heard on the radio there are 26 inches of snow sitting on the ground in Central Park. I think there's also 26 inches of snow in the Washington area as well. So some of our colleagues are likely not here today because of the nor'easter that blew through recently. If you host, feel free to call us for advice. The best piece of advice I can give you is to start early on that circuit. We had a little bit of a major gotcha. It's not a little issue here. We aside from the access, or aside from this statement, we were unprepared on the access point earlier on. It turns out, in working with the good people at AT&T, that while there was no problem delivering a DS3, it turns out that on the 23rd of December they discovered that their fiber that came into the hotel terminated in the basement of the parking garage. And that's about 60 feet from where it needed to terminate. But you know, in a hotel like this, 60 feet might as well be a couple miles. And so, you know, you're sitting there on the 23rd of December and you're going, okay, the NANOG is coming up, we better get this done. And so I just decided, okay, let's just do this ourselves. So a colleague of mine, Todd Parker, and I just decided to come down here with the AT&T folks and pull some interduct from the basement of the parking garage. I mean, it's kind of a mess down there, you know, laying interduct over sprinkler pipes and tie wrapping it all over things. I mean, it's not pretty, but it's done. But again, that's just kind of a illustration of what you have to do sometimes to bring this thing up. And I think it's been, again, worth it. You don't know what the horror of not delivering a big fat circuit can do to motivate people. Yours truly will stand as testament to that. So we have a group of colleagues that I'd like to thank. There's Mike Gallagher. Are you here, Mike? Brian LaCroix, Todd Parker, Raj Patel is back here in the audience. I'm going to thank you, particularly after you approve a expense report that will prove to be a doozy. Also, the AT&T folks, they've done a great job helping us with this Gigaman. We've got, OptiMan rather. There should be plenty of bandwidth. I don't think they're doing anything to rate limit us. We probably will be in fine shape. Again, lessons learned, planned ahead. It definitely helped. It helped us out tremendously. We've also had some interesting challenges with our brand folks, and I think overall they've done a real good job, so I'd like to thank some people back in Sunnyvale, if they're listening, Jeannie Modi and Jeannie Conduit. I think that NANOG 36 is going to prove to be informative and productive for all of us, and I hope we'll have a little bit of fun tonight. So in the spirit of spraying thanks, thank you for coming to you. Thanks to the Fairmont, thanks to the Academy. Little bit of housekeeping items here. There are some bar rooms that we've arranged for kind of overflow downstairs in the lobby on either side of the bar. One is called the Brazier. It's kind of between the bar and the front desk. So if you guys feel that you're kind of congested at the bar downstairs, feel free to overflow into that room. And there's also some bar space over in the Pyramid room as well. So you should have good internet, our wireless connectivity over there, so feel free to go over there. That's about it. Without further ado, let's get NANOG 36 Geeks and Boots underway. Thank you.